With indoor plants, depending on the variety and the time of year, you can pretty much stick to a watering schedule, say once a week or so. That's not really the case with outdoor plants. Container gardens can need more attention with watering than ones planted in flower beds, and that's because they don't have the opportunity to take moisture up from the soil, and because pots like these ones made out of terracotta can be very porous, and you end up having to give them a little bit more attention. Even so, that doesn't mean you can stick to a nice regular watering schedule. At different times of the year, your plants might be exposed to more rain or snow, or they might go into dormancy and not need any water at all. By contrast, in the summer, when things are really hot and you've got things in bloom, you might end up watering a couple of times a day. Whatever the year and whatever the plant, the way of finding out if your plants need water remains the same, and that's the knuckle test. And it's really pretty much as simple as it sounds. You want to put your finger in the soil up to your knuckle and bring it out again. Firstly, you'll be able to feel if it's moist or not, but also you'll be able to tell. If there's soil left on your hand and it feels moist, chances are it doesn't need a drink. If it's really dry and dusty, then you're going to need to water it. When you do water, you'll make life a lot easier by using a nice big can so you can get around all your plants quickly. I recommend watering your container once properly so that the water runs out through the holes in the bottom of the pot. That way you know that the whole thing has got drenched, the roots from top to bottom. Once you've watered properly, you can wait until the knuckle test comes up dry again to water again. Depending on whether that's summer or winter, that might be a matter of weeks or simply a matter of days. There are a few ways you can make your watering schedule slightly less intense in your urban garden. One thing you can do is use pots that come with a reservoir. This means that the water is stored in the bottom of the pot, and to a certain extent it gives you a little leeway in how often you water. It'll fill up here and then water your pots, and this gauge will tell you when it's running out of water. Another way to combat the amount of evaporation that container gardens can suffer is by putting something on top of the surface of the soil to stop water from evaporating so quickly. This is when I suggest you use gravel. You can use gravel, shingle, slate chips, anything you like the look of really. But what I suggest you do is just cover the surface of the soil with whichever kind of shingle you're keen on. This will stop water from evaporating quite so quickly, and the bonus of it is that those rough edges will keep cats and pests away as well. They don't like how sharp it feels on their paws. You can also use moisture-retaining crystals when you're planting your pots up. These suck up water and then release it gradually when the plant needs it. It means you don't have to water as often. But do check how many you need to put in your container, because you don't want to put in too many and they'll get all swelled up and then damage either your pots or your plants. But none of these measures are as good as just watering your plants yourself. It's all about compromise and doing a little bit of what works for you. At the end of the day, your plants are all different, so make sure that you test before you water, and you should be just fine. In the next lesson, we'll be talking about how to look after your urban garden in extreme weather.